fantastic programme. We've got a range of social and networking events, and of course we've got, in my humble opinion, the greatest city on earth here to enjoy as well. I'd like to introduce some of Liverpool's finest, MV Productions, who are going to give you their own welcome to the city of Liverpool. Thank you.
It's important that at our 21st anniversary, that much of what we will do over these next couple of days will be not only honoring those people who have come before us and have brought harm reduction to the place it is today, but also to put forth all those new generation of young people who are promoting harm reduction and creating an environment for harm reduction for the 21st century. And I especially recognize those members of Youth Rise that are in the audience. Good work. But when you come from the Caribbean and you see the way people are treated in the Caribbean or the rest of the world when drug users are treated poorly, the provision of service in the UK is actually very good. 25 years of harm reduction services, opiate substitution therapy, methadone in prisons. I mean, there's many countries in the world that can't say this. For their services for drug users. So even though nothing is perfect, everything is better than in most places. And before you vote next, make sure you read the drug policies of the people you vote for. And our next speaker, who will not do any politics, is Mr. Paul Hayes, and he's the Chief Executive of the National Treatment Agency, which is part of the National Health Service.
And within this city, there's been another set of developments over the last 2 or 3 years, coming from the grassroots, coming from service users, coming from communities, seeking not to challenge harm reduction, but to synthesise it, to ensure that the opportunities that harm reduction gives people to stay alive, to stay healthy, to stabilise their lives, that those opportunities then provide a platform for them to go on to achieve what they want from treatment, which in most instances, for most people, most of the time, will be to become drug-free and to leave the treatment system able to exercise their full rights as citizens and take up their full responsibilities in their communities. On behalf of the UK treatment system, I hope we all do collectively here over the next few days is listen to each other, learn from each other, challenge from each other, then go home and implement the things that we've talked about, the things that we've learned, the things that we've thought through. But what we must always remember is that yesterday's radical idea becomes today's orthodoxy.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes. I had a professor at university who used to say that abstinence is great in moderation.
I'm convinced that nothing can stop harm reduction, not even a little volcano in Iceland. So I'm so glad that so many of you made it here to Liverpool and appreciate the great efforts you've made to get here. The theme of the conference is harm reduction, the next generation. That generation includes all the young people who have not benefited from harm reduction or who are excluded from information and services solely due to their age. The next generation includes how we can expand HIV-related harm reduction into places where it is much needed, and how we can increase our demand on international agencies such as the Global Fund to properly fund harm reduction. The next generation is also about how harm reduction gets to grips with the way we control and regulate all psychoactive substances. Massive investment in law enforcement has not paid off and is itself harm maximising. In the United Nations Drug Convention, starting with a single convention in 1961, the threat of drugs to health and welfare was made clear. But the policies that flowed from the conventions did little to reduce drug use or to tackle health problems. Huge investment has gone into trying to keep drugs from people and to eradicate cannabis, coca and opium poppy with little success. The failure lies not only in unachieved international policy objectives. International and national drug policies stand in the way of improving health and welfare and exacerbate problems. Criminalising drugs and criminalising drug users causes considerable harms, serves as a barrier to public health objectives, and has no discernible purpose other than to punish. A reassessment of the international drug control system is way overdue. Drug control has contributed to the corruption of law enforcement and criminal justice, to violence, to security destabilisation, to food insecurity, to human displacement, and a wide range of human rights abuses inflicted on drug users.
In human conditions, and the failure to respect the most basic of legal rights cannot be excused. And Michel Sidibé has unequivocally called for drug detention centres which abuse rights to be closed without exception. I will continue to join with you in fearless promotion of good science and good humanity.
This is quite a special moment for me because I find it incredible that we're still here 20 or 21 years later and this is the 21st conference. It didn't look like this, and I also want to congratulate PADDY COSTALL, I don't know where you are, PADDY, and your team. 2010 International Wollaston Award is Professor Gerry Stimson.